Hey everybody, we're going to start in crossed leg seat. So if you'd like, you can use a couple blocks to boost yourself up. And you can sit on those. You can also use a blanket or something underneath your bottom to give you that little extra. I'm going to do that today because my hips feel a little tight to me. So the higher your butt is off the floor, the easier it is on your hips. Okay, so make sure you pull the fleshy parts of your bottom out from underneath you. You're comfortable. Sit up nice and tall, palms open, couple big breaths in and out through the nose. With each and every exhale, just let the shoulders roll down, away from the ears. Let the body relax on the exhale. It's easier for the muscles to relax on the exhale, so don't force it. All right, next exhale. Chin drops to the chest. Just let the head hang. As you inhale again, head comes back up to center, back of the head's going to drop, chin raises. Really try and get a stretch along this front side. If you get back there and you have enough space and you feel flexible today, you can always take another inhale, try to bring the chest to the ceiling and reach back as if you're going to do a little mini back bend here. Next inhale, head comes back up to center. We're going to do a side stretch. If you can extend pretty far, I'll have you hop off your seat. And if you can't, stay up there. Don't worry about how far you can go. Just make sure that you do it safely. So fingers out to the side. Sit up nice and tall. Right arm swings out and up on your next inhale. And you're going to come over to the side. If this is your side stretch, stay here. If you need a little bit more, come over. Hand on the floor is just there for support. It's not holding you up. Come all the way over as far as you can. I can stretch pretty far even though I'm not a little girl. So the arm in the air is still reaching as my butt stays on the floor. And try not to roll forward. This doesn't help your side. You really want to roll that shoulder back. Try to get the arm over top of the ear. Next inhale, bring yourself all the way back up. All right, other side, same thing. Swing it out and up on your next inhale and come all the way over. Same thing, keep that shoulder rolled back, arm across the ear as far as you can go. Go a little farther on your exhale if you can. All right, next inhale, bring yourself all the way back up. We're going to do cat-cow, hands and knees. Toes curled into the mat, fingers are spread wide, arms straight down from your shoulders. When you're ready, inhale up, butt looks towards the ceiling as the eyes look up as well. And on your exhale, round everything, curl that tailbone in. Link it with your breath and your movement. Again, if you're a fast breather, you should be moving quick. And if you're lengthening your breath, you should be moving pretty slow. All right, next exhale, come to stillness. We're gonna do dolphin. So, oh, excuse me, we're not doing dolphin yet. We are going to do flowing child's. So we're gonna sit back on our heels, belly to the thighs, forehead towards the floor, arms back for the moment, or in front, whatever works for you. And now we're gonna make this flow. So on your next inhale, back up to hands and knees, that cow side of the pose. And on your exhale, child side of the pose. Again, linking it to your breath and your movement. All right, next exhale, just come to stillness. We're going to, we're gonna sit back on our heels for child's again. This time, head comes to the floor and arms come back. Do the best you can. My tummy is in the way. I just let my head hang. All right, so flowing child. We're gonna come from here. On your next inhale, as you come up, arms reach out and up. Fingers face the ceiling. And on your next exhale, all the way back down. And continue on. Last one, when you come to child's, just come to your child's. I prefer my hands out in front. Couple breaths here. All right, next inhale, come back up to your knees. And we're gonna come to hands and knees, we're gonna come to dolphin. So we're gonna come to hands and knees first, and then come down to your forearms. Fingers can interlock if you'd like. I like to leave mine separate because I have my arm issue. All right, so dolphin. Feet are together, toes are curled into the mat. They don't have to touch, but they have to be pretty close. When you're ready, you're gonna come all the way up. Butt stays in the air. Head does not touch the floor, but hangs right on top of the forearms. And you're gonna try and reach those heels back as best you can. This is much stronger, in my opinion, than regular down dog. Rough shape of a V if you can. Keep trying to reach those those heels back. And you're not dumping into those shoulders. You're still pushing yourself away as the head relaxes. All right, we're gonna switch this to plank. So shimmy those feet back. Don't keep your butt in the air, but bring it down. Nice and level. Make sure you're breathing. Lower yourself all the way back down. And we are going to do side plank. So we're going to shift to our side. And we're not doing it straight arm today. I'm not feeling that funky. If you want to, that's perfectly fine. So left arm is bent. We're doing both sides, so don't worry about which direction you're supposed to be going. Left leg, or whatever leg along the floor, is nice and straight. I would suggest that you come up off the floor, and then you can move your foot. Whoops. Then you can move your foot so that the knee is bent. You can stay here. You can straighten the leg and lift the arm. Come all the way back down. We're going to come back to child's. So, flip around. Get yourself settled. Child's pose. All right, next inhale, back up to hands and knees. We're going to start that again to cat-cow. Toes curl into the mat when you're ready. Next inhale, come to stillness. We're going to do flowing childs. So I'm going to keep my toes curled in, pointed back behind me, but you can do whatever you'd like. So on an inhale, first part of cow pose. Exhale, back to child's. And keep that flowing, following your breath. And your breath following your movement. Last one, come to child's with your hands to your side. All right, we're going to do flowing childs all the way up. So on your next inhale, arms come out and up as you stand on your knees, and all the way back down on your exhale. Keep going. All right, back to child's. Just stay here for a moment. Again, this time I'm going to keep my arms out in front because that's what I prefer. All right, if you need to rest a little bit more, by all means, pause and do so. Next inhale, we're going to come back to hands and knees, and we're going to do dolphin again. So, forearms on the floor, toes curl into the mat, and when you're ready, all the way up. Head just hangs again, heels are trying to reach to the floor, butt stays in the air. Make sure you're breathing, don't forget. All right, plank. We're going to shift those feet back. Bring that bottom down. Make sure those hips aren't in the air. Nice and level. Tighten that belly. Work your core. Lower yourself all the way down. We are going to do side plank. So, shift your weight. You're going to do the right side against the mat or the opposite, whatever you were before. All right, so forearm on the floor. Bottom leg is straight. You're going to push yourself up. And again, you can have hand on the hip, top leg bend, arm in the air, arms falling, arms straight. It's okay to wiggle. All right, back down, come to child's. So, we're gonna get ready for another pose after this. So I'm gonna do a little bit wider legs so I can get farther onto the floor. Some nice big breaths, let everything go. On your next inhale, come all the way up. We're gonna do a seated cat-cow in hero, which means we're sitting on our heels. If this is too much for you or too much for your knees, you're more than welcome to put something underneath your knees for a little extra support. If it's too terrible, you can put a blanket or 2 or 3 on, behind the knees to boost you up a little bit. And if it's too much for your ankles, you can certainly put that little blanket or pillow underneath your ankles to give you a little bit more support. And you can combine that with everything. So don't feel like you can't, like if you feel like you need it, you need something underneath, behind, and under the ankle, by all means, do it. There's no right or wrong, there's whatever works for you. So, I'm gonna put this behind my knees. And again, just make sure it works for you. And also, as another one, if you feel like you can't do that, you can always use a block or a book or a pillow underneath of you and give you that little extra boost up. Actually, I'm going to stay here. So don't feel like you can't use props in order to get comfortable in a pose. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. This is seated cat-cow. And if all of this doesn't work for you, sit down and do it regular in a crossed-leg seat. Or if you really want, you can do it on hands and knees. I just thought it would be nice to give you a little twist. All right, so we're going to sit up nice and tall. Shoulders are rolled down away from our ears. Couple big breaths to start without any movement. All right, next inhale, we're gonna open the chest, eyes look up. You can keep your lids closed if you'd like. And on your exhale, everything's gonna round. Try to curl your hips forward and continue on. All right, next time you're on the inhale side of the pose, hold that open, nice and strong. Open the chest. You can even use your arms out to the side. All right. Next, exhale, let everything go. All right. So we're going to do a little bit different. I'm going to do tadpole for your closing. If you do not like this, by all means, do or use something else. You can use a blanket or a pillow. I'm using a pillow for my hips. This is basically reverse corpse. So a pillow for my hips. And I'm going to use a folded blanket for my head. So, I want my head pillow here, something to support my hips. Again, blanket or pillow. If you have a really bad low back, make sure you put something underneath your knee, underneath your ankles to keep a bend in your knee. I'm going to bring my head forward, my forehead on the blanket. So I have a nice little airway spot. I'm going to keep my arms bent palms down. Or if you'd like, you can do arms back behind and palms up. Your pose, you choose. Whatever you're doing, make sure that you close your eyes. You take a couple big breaths to center yourself. Let everything relax down. Let the blankets be supportive. It's very hard to let go. All right, and this is also the opportunity to create space in the back by taking the movement out of your belly and letting your backside fill up. We do this with chest and belly sometimes. Let's see if we can't do it with the back today. As if on each inhale, you're trying to push somebody's hand off of you. Just concentrate with your inhales and exhales. Really trying to focus on the breath. Creating space in the back. This is also a forward fold, so it's a nice calming pose for the body. Just letting everything go, everything melts away, giving yourself a little peace and quiet. When you're ready, you can slowly bring, slowly coming back, wiggling fingers and toes, gently rocking head from side to side if you need. And when you're ready, you can push yourself back up. You can sit cross-legged if you'd like, or sit back on your heels in your own. When you're ready, you can bring hands in front of heart. Bow your head if you'd like. Peace, peace, peace. Peace for ourselves, peace for family and friends, and peace for our world. Namaste.